Hey guys, welcome to the premiere episode of Virtual Consultation, where I've asked you guys, my fans, my viewers, to submit photos or videos of your setup so that I can help to critique and suggest areas for improvement, and if at all possible, how you can better the enjoyment and the mileage you're getting from your Sonos setup. So today we have Joel from Ottawa, Canada. We will critique his setup. He's asking whether he should remove a sub Gen 3 from his Sonos Arc setup. Strange, but let's see what he has up his sleeve today. So, according to Joel, he has a wife and 3 kids, and the wife is particular about how his house looks with the placement of the speakers around the house. So let's take a look at this setup and let's help Joel figure out whether he should be getting rid of the sub Gen 3. As with all my videos, I try to give my answer up front. The answer is no, but I think you guys already know we don't want to get rid of the sub Gen 3. But could there be exceptions? Let's try to figure out today. If you have some time to stay around, let's look at the setup from Joel. You might not be able to see this very clearly. I think what I will do is I will start a screen recording here and clearer? Okay. Let's start with the front setup. So this is what Joel has sent in. This is his TV right above what I would think is a fireplace. There's a ledge there. It is 4.5 feet above the ground. Quite a lot of space, 5 feet to either side of the arc for it to fire off to. The room is 14 feet wide and 15 feet deep. There is another space behind which will add about another 10 feet to his room. But let's look at this place first. Now, this is where the arc is sitting, right? This is where the... Did I just say arc? This is where the sub is sitting, right at the corner. At first, it does seem like a good placement, but if you look closely at the next picture that is coming up, this is where the sub is. Now, if you look closely at this angle, it seems that this cabinet here, where the equipment rack is, where the equipment is being held, it kind of blocks the sound a little bit, and the space between the wall and the sub is probably, I would look at this, 6 inches. I would recommend pushing it out about 12 inches to 15 inches and maybe move it towards the center of the room so that it doesn't get blocked by this equipment rack here, because sound wave does travel. Now, the other position option for the Sonos sub is here. Okay? Joel did mention that this area where the TV is and the sofa and the couch is actually a sunken area. There's about 6-8 inches drop, okay, from the rest of the room, but doesn't matter because it's the same height where the soundbar is and the ceiling position is. According to Joel, this distance is about 14 feet, so it's quite far away. And if you put a sub in that corner, you're gonna likely have to bump up the volume quite a bit. Then what I would suggest is if you could move this position right here, where the lower frequencies with longer wavelength has more space to travel, instead of being blocked by the equipment rack or the sofa or the couch here, you give it some free space. And then you might find that you don't have to pump up the volume of the sub that high, and you'll still get pretty pleasant sub response from your setup. Now, otherwise, I think the sub placement is fine. I would comment that the arc is a little bit too high off. Your sitting position is here. This is your couch. I would say ear level is right about here. So this is probably about 1.5 feet too high. But not much you can do there because the ledge is already fixed here, right? The ledge is already built in. So I see that you have done some angling here. Now, if you had not angled this, the sound coming from the top Atmos speakers would have been blocked by this TV. So good that you have actually angled it such that the sound can project properly up and out, clearing the TV base and here. Okay, so it should be able to reflect nicely off the ceiling. Okay, let's pull up a picture of how it looks here. Yeah, right. So the sound coming from here, this is where your sound bar is. This is where the Atmos cones are going to be firing up and down. Now, you mentioned that the MLP is 14 feet away. 14 feet combined with the fact that the arc is 4.5 feet high and your ceiling is about 9 feet. It might prove that your sweet spot is likely to be somewhere here. So your sitting position, your MLP, is probably not ideal. So there are two things you can do, right? One, you can push your MLP to the front to where I'm indicating here, or you could lower this part. Both of this sounds to be pretty, how do you call it, quite an eyesore if you had to do it. I'm sure you will leave holes in your fireplace because the ledge has to be moved, and you might also do well to lower the TV a little bit if you're going to take on that project. But that's a big project. Moving the sitting arrangement, smaller project. I would think that your sofa is, this couch is joined. So if you're going to move it forward, you're going to leave a lot of space behind, and I'm not sure. It might make your room look disproportionate. So have a chat with your wife, see whether it is something that you guys can do. Otherwise, leave it. You know, it's okay because you have already angled this. So in conclusion, I would say don't move the MLP. I think you're fine. If you could very easily shift the Sonos arc down by a foot or so, that would be ideal, but the fireplace. So, well, we have to live with restrictions all around the house, don't we? Now, if you have a PowerPoint here, I would suggest that the first thing you do is to move the Sonos sub to the left of the front, to the left of the room. True play it and see how it sounds like. I would suggest you not getting rid of the Sonos sub. The arc on its own, yes, there is space, but you have a very big room. Your room, if it extends all the way to the kitchen, is about 25 feet, if I'm hearing you right. And in that amount of space, that amount of volume, I don't recommend you doing without a sub. The sub will and should be essential in your setup here. Now, the other thing I want to critique about on your setup is, oh, you have a very lovely house, by the way. Very pretty and very nicely kept, well kept, neat and tidy dining, living space. And this is what I'm seeing. This is your IKEA Symphonics bookshelf as surround speakers. They're great, but a few problems. They're a little bit too far. They're more than 11 feet away from where you're sitting. Ideally, surround speakers for Sonos should be to your side, a little bit to the back, maybe about 20 degrees, but firing towards you, not towards the front, not towards the screen, like how it's being placed right now. That is not ideal. The second thing is it's a little bit too high. So I have some suggestions here. Let's see. Now, first I'm going to critique on the left side of your surround. Okay, the wires, the cables are running here. Okay, it is placed vertically. Well, I'm sure that's what your wife wants, but I'm just wondering whether you have enough space to place it on the countertop. Does this part clear your speaker? That's the part I'm wondering. If it does, so one suggestion is to move this all the way down to the countertop And this will be more at ear level. So it would sound a little bit more even. And I'll tell you why. Because your surround speakers are placed so high and so far back. Sonos TruePlay would have to compensate by increasing the volume of your surround channel to reach where you are. And in doing so, your front Atmos sounds might get drowned out and might get confused by your surrounds, which are actually playing loud and high. All right? So when the surround sound is coming from high and the Atmos is supposed to be reflected and coming from the top, you will get a very confusing sound stage. You might not hear the Atmos effects that readily, or because these speakers are placed a little bit too far and placed a little bit too high. Okay? Now, if you move the left one down, the right one will have to be moved down correspondingly too. I have to look and I have to talk about your right. The cable management on this guy is amazing. The fridge is behind this plank, this cabinet. So I'm sure you routed the power cable inside. And if you already did that, then repositioning it might not be an option. But if you could, and if you look at an IKEA Sonos Symphonist, you can place the speaker this way, or you can mount it this way. When you mount it this way, you can use this as a bookshelf. Okay? And it comes with the wall mount kit, comes with a silicone pad. You can place things on top. So if I were to give you a suggestion, I would say, position this horizontally, make it into a bookshelf. You can put your keys, you can put your wallet, you can put your whatever, your knickknacks, whatever you need. Okay, I suppose this is your study. And on this side, if you could make it horizontal, I estimated that this, you might just be able to fit within this area here. And if you could do that, it will be lower and closer to ear level. And this goes out to the yard, and this goes out to the backyard. And you can put your keys there. I'm not sure how safe it is, but if you have any knickknacks, all right, position this as a bookshelf. And there you go. It's functional now. Joel, I have to say, the cable management on this guy is amazing. I just can't believe how neat this guy is. This is the nicest setup I've seen for an IKEA Symphonics bookshelf. Kudos to you. Okay, so there you have it. A very nice, pretty house. Great for family interaction. You can watch all your movies here. My recommendation, please do not remove the Sonos sub. Please don't do that. The Arc needs the sub to perform its best. You have a big room, use the sub. So that's all I have for your consultation today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you like to see more of these, do leave a comment in the comment section below. And I'm going to put up a QR code here. If you scan this QR code, it will take you to an email, to your email client, where you can drop me an email. Take photos like how Joel has done here. Bright, sharp, clear, and it shows me different aspects. Front on, it shows me the rear of the back of the room. It shows me how the speakers are being placed. Very, very clear. I'm able to help quite easily with such pictures. If you want to send a video, you can send a video too. I will be able to help from the video. For your videos, don't jerk too much. Don't move too fast, move slowly, so that if I show your video on this YouTube channel, your viewers, my viewers, can actually see it and it's a lot smoother. I don't have to slow it down. Okay, so that's all I have. Check out the QR code if you want. So that's all I have here. Now, this other QR code that I have here is for my Patreon account. I haven't been asking for Coffee Fund for a while. So just like to remind everybody that if you find my work useful, if you find my videos, my channel helpful in helping you decide on whether you should go for a Sonos, or even if you have a Sonos already, how to make the best use of your Sonos, do consider dropping me a small contribution towards my coffee fund, and I will truly greatly appreciate it. Even if you don't, Please feel free to come by, listen into my video, watch my video, leave a like, leave a comment. I appreciate that. And I'll see you in my next video. Keep those contributions coming, keep the videos coming. I will pick up something for my next video. I'll see you then.